Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
Who should Barcelona sign in this summer's transfer window? This video will be the first episode of a series looking at who Barcelona should sign in the upcoming transfer window. In this episode I will be analysing the areas of the squad Barcelona could improve upon, who should be sold, the overall transfer budget and the transfer strategy that Barcelona should approach this transfer window with. But before this video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get notified when the next episode of this series comes out. Also check out some of my other transfer series as well on Manchester United, Arsenal and Newcastle, which will all be linked in the description below, as well as my most recent videos as well. So with Barcelona looking like they have a squad in decline from their previous high standards, what do they need to do to get back to the top of the European football tree? Well, before looking at where they need to improve, Barcelona first need to solve their most pressing issue, which is their enormous wage bill and ageing squad. Earlier on in the season it was revealed that Barcelona had become the first club to break the €500 million wage bill barrier, recording a wage bill of €562 million, which is substantially higher than many other elite clubs, like Manchester City's with €293 million or PSG's with €332 million. This shows that Barcelona have a bloated wage bill filled with ageing players on big wages and longer than should be contracts. So the main aim of the next transfer window should be restructuring the squad and getting ageing fringe players off of the wage bill and trying to sell some of the big names on big wages for younger, more promising players on lesser salaries. So which players should Barcelona look to offload? Well, players like Rakitic, Suarez and Arturo Vidal should look to be offloaded, with all the wrong side of 30 and on big wages. Barca probably won't be able to get a fee for Suarez because he only has 1 year left on his contract and would be on huge wages, which at 33 is a huge problem in terms of how attractive a proposition signing him is, so Barca may have to allow him to leave on a free or even a loan deal. The same goes for Rakitic and Vidal. However, I think Barca could get around £10 million each for them, but even if not, just getting them off the wage bill would be a huge bonus. Griezmann and Coutinho are two other players I think Barcelona should look to shift. Not because I don't think they're good enough to play in Setien's side, but because of their ages, Coutinho being 28 in the summer and Griezmann now 29, meaning that they are potentially going to be bigger problems in the long term than they will be worth with their output on the pitch. This is because both are on massive wages. Griezmann, for example, earns €45 million a year, which is the second most in the Barcelona squad behind only Messi, and nearly double the salary of Luis Suarez, proving what a massive financial burden he is.
Little boy, sit down. If you don't got this watch, I'm not beefing with anybody from New York if you don't got this watch. Sit down. King's home. It's over.
It may not be so bad if a player like Mbappe or Neymar were on this massive wage, with Mbappe being young enough to be able to play another 10 or more years in the side and having a significant sell-on value if needed to be sold, and with Neymar his insane quality and output may make this more bearable. Griezmann, whilst being a great player, is not at the same level as Mbappe or Neymar, which says to me that he shouldn't be on these extraordinary wages that he's currently on at the age of 29. Barca will have to take a significant hit on the transfer fees paid for these players, which in my view they should have never paid for in the first place, as in Coutinho's case he was vastly overvalued and didn't have a secured role in the Barcelona side before he arrived. With Griezmann he had already been declining from his peak, which was in 2016-2017, and his age made this signing even more confusing considering Barcelona already suffering from a declining squad and huge wages. I think Coutinho could be sold for £50 million and Griezmann for maybe around £70 million, which would give Barcelona significant funds to reinvest with. Fringe players like Carlos Alenya and Rafinha, who have 1 year left on their contract, should be moved on as well, potentially bringing in around £10 million each, and even Martin Braithwaite as well if Barcelona can recoup around 12 to 15 million of the £80 million fee they signed him for back in January. So with those players looking to be offloaded, what areas do Barcelona need to improve? Well, the centre forward position has been a main area in which Barcelona have needed to improve upon over the last few seasons, with Suarez's decline becoming more prominent every season. Barcelona should look to sign an advanced forward type of striker who won't be looking to drop deep from the forward line, but who instead looks to make short runs in behind the back line and has great movement inside of the box. This is because Messi needs a striker who can stretch the pitch and not only provide him with space by dragging the back line from him, but also give him an option to provide a through ball or a lofted pass over the defensive line. With Griezmann being moved on, Barca would need a left-sided attacker who can play the role as a wide forward, being tasked with stretching the pitch by staying wide when the ball is in the middle third, but looks to make runs into central positions when the ball moves into the attacking third to provide a goal-scoring threat. They also need to bring in a creative central midfielder to come in and play as a most advanced midfielder in Setien's midfield three. Currently, with De Jong, Arthur and Busquets playing there, Barcelona lack dynamism and a player who can dribble with the ball, moving the ball into the final third before creating. Arthur and De Jong don't suit this role, as both prefer to sit in deep areas and look to play passes into the final third for others to then create. Along with a centre forward, a left-sided attacker and a central midfielder, Barcelona could also upgrade at the centre-back position and at right-back. Titi at centre-back, whilst being a top-level defender, has been rather injury-prone, missing 38 games in the last 2 seasons, and there is a player on the market who I think could be an upgrade in terms of their ball-playing ability that I believe could take Barcelona's possession system to another level. At right back, while Semedo is a very good one-on-one defender and is decent going forward, I think Barcelona do need a better offensive right back to compensate for Messi's movement in field from the right and provide some winger-like output on the flank. Titi could be sold for around £45 million and Semedo for around £35 million, and there could also be the option of swap deals as well if the deal suits both sides and players involved. This should give Barcelona a budget of around £220 million to spend without spending any more on transfer fees than what they are bringing in, which I think would be crucial to balancing the books at Barcelona, who have huge financial burdens and need to be a lot more sensible with their signings. Barcelona also have a few young players who I think could play bigger roles in the side next season. Both Ansu Fati and Carlos Perez are very good backup options in the wide forward positions, with Ousmane Dembele there as well. All three of these players, especially Dembele, should be playing more prominent roles in the side. Jean-Claire Todibo should also be recalled from his loan spell and can fulfil the role as a fourth choice centre-back behind Pique Longley and my Titi replacement. In the next 5 episodes of this series, I will be looking at 5 players Barcelona should look to sign in the summer: a centre-back, a right-back, a central midfielder, a left-sided attacker and a centre-forward will all be discussed, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like if you enjoyed it.
Ben Davis with a tackle, here's Son, Sissoko, here's Dele Alli, here's Lucas Moura, oh they've done it! I cannot believe it! Lucas Moura with the last kick of the game. The Ajax players collapse to the ground. Tottenham Hotspur are heading to the Champions League final with a goal that we just couldn't believe.